Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. I'm here with Bernard. I'm going to show you my shirt. And we're going to talk about that shirt later. It's not mine, it's my lad's. I bought it for my lad and I nicked it for today's show. I can't breathe. But there's not much to talk about this week, Bernard. I've been struggling to find a good topic. We're obviously, I'm all kidding. But how you doing, mate? I hope you're well.
Yeah, very well. I was a bit nervy last night watching that, but we got through, didn't we? It didn't matter, did it? But you still want to win, don't you, at the end of the day, even though it doesn't really matter.
Let's be honest. We're here to talk about the Bournemouth review, but out of 3 or 4 things that have happened this week, that's probably the least of our issues. I briefly mentioned Monday we had a great result at Cass. I think that's the most important thing of the week. Did United win this week? Did they draw something against Southampton? That was nice because it makes it harder. Those 2 things make it harder for them to get Champions. You've got Champions League next season. Yes, we shouldn't be bothered about our nearest neighbours, but it's nice to make fun of them. So that's good. And then after we played last night, we had some very nice news as well. See Liverpool losing against Arsenal. And actually, the thing is, I thought they'd lose. I thought they would lose last night. I'll say this up front. I thought they'd lose last night. I hardly watched any of the game. I put it on for a few minutes. Liverpool were winning 1-0. But I was so, I don't know how, confident of Arsenal. I was doing some videos, these parody videos. So I think I did the Dimitri one. I did that last night. And I did the Spanish man laughing. So I was doing that whilst the game was on. And I was praying that it just did. And then once I started it, half time it was 2-1. So I thought I got just over an hour to do these videos. And actually, I put one out and I put it as a draw. Because when I started doing the video, it was a draw. Liverpool against Arsenal. So I had to go back and redo it. It took me ages. But that's perversely how confident I was of Arsenal just pulling something out of the bag. Arteta, is there anybody better?
Well, I must admit, I didn't watch the game, but I saw the stats. I mean, they got absolutely hammered. Arsenal, they absolutely battered them. I thought it was City's stats there from what I was looking at. Because I looked at our stats, and our stats were awful. And then I looked at Liverpool's stats. I thought, bloody absolutely battered Arsenal, didn't they? So I think AFTV commented that how they got away with that, they don't know. But that's football, isn't it?
Yeah. And before we get into the Bournemouth thing, I mean, to say, and they've been saying it most of the season, after 27 games of the season, they'd won 26 and drawn 1, I think. Something ridiculous like that. And then since 27 games, they lost to Watford, they lost to City, they've lost to Arsenal, they've drawn with Burnley, they've drawn with Everton. They've been pretty poor they've played now 36 games, or in the 9 games they've played since, they've lost, including Watford, they've lost 3 league games and drawn 2. It's pretty rank form. And if you want to be considered one of the best ever, and this is what they were proclaiming, that this Liverpool team were the best ever Premier League side. Well, they don't even get in the conversation now. You know, you're not Invincibles. There's your Arsenal. You're not your treble winners. That's Fergie's United. And you're not Centurions. So you don't get into the debate. So, I mean, does what happened to other clubs, does it worry you? Does it affect you? Are you not bothered? Or is it just a source of a little bit of mirth?
Yeah, I mean, I always look at things like last night. I sort of pretend that I'm not bothered, but then obviously when you say, "Oh, they can only get 99 points," I'm quite chuffed about it. So I sort of put an air of disdain on it, and I'm not really arsed. If any Liverpool fan says something, I'm not bothered about it. But then all of a sudden, oh yeah, oh great, you can only get 99. So it is a bit like that, isn't it? You try not to worry about it too much, because it doesn't really matter records. But obviously, when it comes down to it, you just love it. You just love to see it.
And the final point on this is they haven't got 99 points yet. I mean, if they lose another game or draw another game, they don't even get to 98 points. So, and then that means they're not even as good as City were in the treble winning season. And And the thing is, people don't realise Liverpool, their focus this season has been the league, Champions League, off the FA Cup, they sacked off the Carabao Cup, okay? And they got bombed out of the Champions League by Atletico home and away. They missed out on the first trophy of the season, the Community Shield, by losing out to City. So, they could walk away this season with fewer points than we got last season and fewer trophies. And as someone said this morning, might as well be Blackburn.
Yeah, or Celtic, is it? So, I don't remember someone saying that, but there you go.
But Celtic are serial winners. Blackburn won it once. So what's the difference between Liverpool, who've broken very few records, and Blackburn? So anyway, we're 6 minutes in. We haven't talked about the Bournemouth game. Let's go through that. I mean, let's talk a bit at the end of the game first, because City won 2-1. Were you nervous right at the death after Bournemouth scored?
Well, I can't. I mean, it's like I can't remember us being under so much pressure apart from Anfield. To be honest with you, that was. I mean, we've been beaten this year, but we've been beaten dominating teams, and obviously to go to the Etihad and play like that again. I can't remember the last team that sort of did that to us. Even the teams that like United, who beat us, didn't dominate us or have us worried particularly. They just scored from nowhere. But Bournemouth was sort of that second half, especially where we were terrible. We were absolutely awful that second half. I mean, they were just doing what, either high balls or trying to play it through. They were doing everything. I mean, it wasn't just long ball stuff. It was a mixture of stuff. They're playing some good stuff, and if they'd had some better attackers, I'm afraid they would have beat us 5. Yeah, 5-2 or something like that.
It was Stanislas. I think Stanislas had a good game, and he put in lots of crosses in, worked hard. I was surprised when he got taken off, but actually he got taken off, and they were even better. And you're right, we could have easily lost that game. I mean, they had plenty of chances, and they had chances in the first half too. I mean, going back to Pep's lineup, I mean, I'd predicted, I was hoping that would have a load of kids, not too many, 3 or 4 kids in a starting lineup, mix it with some more experienced players, but rest most of the players that might be considered for the weekend. And in reality, we didn't rest that many. We didn't have some creative attacking forces in KDB, Mahrez, and Sterling that started the game. But we had a very, very experienced side put out there. I mean, were you disappointed, or are you just focused on winning games?
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't disappointed because I don't think Pep will do it. I just don't think Pep will play the youngsters unless you know what I mean. It's not happening. So I mean, I got 8 of those players right last night. I think the only 3 I got wrong were Sterling, Zinchenko, and Cancelo. I thought were going to play. Is Cancelo injured? I don't know, because obviously playing Garcia at right back wasn't exactly the greatest masterstroke of Pep since he's been at the club. But I just knew he wasn't going to put any of the kids. I just knew, because it's Pep, isn't it? I mean, we know this now. I mean, and if he extends his contract, we still won't see any of the kids, because he wants the trophies. He wants to play his tried and tested professionals that have been there. He doesn't want to take any chances, and that's what he is, and that's what he will be as long as he's with us.
That's why we've not seen enough of Garcia this season, because he's still been playing Otamendi and Stones. And Garcia's coming through now, and you think, well, and when you watch him now, you think, well, why weren't you playing earlier in the season, buddy? The league, once the league was lost, why weren't you playing? Because you were good enough. You're good enough. It shows. And the worry for me is you'll get kids like Jayden Braff will look at that and say, and others will say, if I can't get in when we've got night to play for, really, and we've got the FA Cup, Champions, if I can't get in any games between now and the end of the season, what am I doing here? We saw Jadon Sancho leave. Whatever the reasons were, he didn't want to stick around at City. It wasn't we got rid of him. He didn't want to stick around. And this might be the reason, because when Jadon Sancho was here, we had Leroy Sané, Sterling, Bernardo, and I think we were getting Mahrez. We had a lot of attacking talent, and it was going to be hard for Sancho to get in. We've seen Rabbi Matonzo leave as well. He wasn't the same level as Sancho, but he left and went to Schalke. We saw Brahim Diaz struggling to get game time. He went off to Real Madrid. These aren't inconsequential players. These are players who have got a significant amount of talent, and we've seen what Jadon Sancho's done. And I'm concerned that unless someone is a City fan, we've seen Phil Foden, he stuck it out for basically 3 seasons, 2.5 just to 3 seasons, to get enough time in the first team. And even now he's hit and miss. We see the same with Tommy Doyle. Tommy Doyle will stick around because he's a City fan. But Garcia, will he stick around? Will Jayden Braff stick around? I don't know much about Cole Palmer to say whether he's a City fan or not. I've not looked into his back history, I'm afraid. But that worries me. Unless you're a local lad, unless you're a City fan, you're going to be tempted to move away because you can see there's a limit. And the limit to what you're going to do is about the age of 17 or 18. And if you haven't made it into the first team then, you might as well move because you're not going to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Cole Palmer, actually, I think I have read he is a bit of a City fan, he is a City fan as such as well. So, as you say, but it is sad. I mean, let's face it, as a footballer, I mean, I love City, as you say. I mean, if I'd had the opportunity, you would stay as long as you can, obviously. But when you've got a potential to move to another, not insignificant club on loan or for a season at a time, I mean, why not? You probably get a little bit more dosh as well, get the experience. And it's such a shame because obviously when we started this academy, how many years ago was it? By now you would have thought, we'd have 2, 3, 4 guys in the team on a regular basis. But and I think it's only because of Pep's philosophy. Unfortunately, I just don't think if we had another manager, I'm sure we would have seen more of the youngsters in. And we're not going to moan away at the end of the day what we've got and what we've had. So it's just one of those things.
If you go back 15 years, we had a lot of people coming through: Stephen Ireland, Joey Barton, Sean Wright-Phillips. We had a whole load. Micah Richards, although I think we got him as a 15-year-old, so I think that counts. Neda Manua, I think Bayata came through, and loads more that I can't remember. I saw a list of about 15. It's Jordan, was it Stephen Jordan was his name? Vladimir Weiss, he came through. A whole host of kids. Willow Flood came through. I forgot the names for the time being, but they're a certain level, and none of them. I can't think of anybody. Even Sean Wright-Phillips would get into this City team right now. Shawnee would be the closest. Maybe Micah as well when he was fit. And so you have to be a much higher level, a higher standard to get into the City team now. But what concerns me is Jadon Sancho. Is he of the right level to be in that City team? I think he is. Is Eric Garcia? I think he is. Is Phil Foden? I think he is. I don't know about the others. I'm not sure about Tommy Doyle. I'm not sure about the others. But those 3 guys, I think they're all good enough to be in that City first team right now, or in the best 15 or 16. And all we've got is Phil Foden flitting in and out, and Sancho's gone, and Garcia's in and out. And that's my concern, is that we have got some of the players that I think are good, but they're still not making it. And like you say, that's the worry, that Pep will just go to tried and trusted. And we're hearing now, we're almost got a done deal for this kid from Valencia, Ferran Torres, a 20-year-old winger. What does that mean for Jayden Braff? What does that mean for Cole Palmer? And they're not much younger than him. Jayden Braff's, I think, 18 now. Cole Palmer 17 or 18. So they're not much younger than him. So do they see their future blocked by someone like this Ferran Torres? If we get Koulibaly, does Eric Garcia say, hang on, where am I in the pecking order? If we go out and get Houssama or Ismail Benassa, does Foden or Tommy Doyle say, well, hang on, what's going on with me? If we get someone like Ismail Benassa, Tommy Doyle's going to say, well, hang on, I'm fighting against Fernandinho, Rodri, Gundogan, and Ismail Benassa for a defensive midfield. So that's my big concern. Sorry, I gassed a bit too much there. Let's go back to Bournemouth, and probably I think the best City performer on the night, would it be David Silva?
Absolutely. I mean, I had Ederson and Jesus up there with my ratings, but David Silva again was outstanding. Even Fernandinho had a great game, and also, I mean, those 3. But David Silva was just a little bit higher. He looks as though he's the young David Silva at the moment. He's just loving him. He's just loving it. I mean, he must be really squeezing every little bit of enjoyment out of these last few games, isn't he? Let's be honest about it. And I'm sort of looking at my team for the Arsenal actually, and thinking I'm sort of not putting him in. I mean, I wasn't putting him in originally. I thought, no, he's got to be in the Arsenal. He's got to be in for the FA Cup thing. I mean, you know, based on last night, how would you keep him out? Because he's sort of got a new lease of life.
From what I can't remember the exact stats, but has he got something like 3 goals and 3 assists since we've come back?
Yeah.
And that's probably as good as anybody. I mean, you know, I think if you'd asked me a few weeks ago, I think a lot of people would have said Phil Foden and KDB. I think, was it Foden started against Arsenal? I think if I'm right. But I think a lot of people would have said Foden because he scored 3 goals. He looked industrious and energetic and creative. I don't think he has done that much in the last 2 or 3 games. I mean, he had one good moment last night where he got past 2 men and shot straight at the keeper from a tight angle. But I think generally, you know, he's slipped down while David Silva's moved up. And David Silva's just incredible. How old is he? 33 years old?
Yeah, it's just to say, it's just because he wasn't like this, was he? I mean, you could see he'd lost that a little bit, couldn't you? You could see it all the early part of the season, and all of a sudden, is it because we're playing weaker teams? I don't know. He's getting more room in the middle and stuff like this, but you say it's not the same David Silva that I saw back in December and January and February. To be honest with you,
well, the thing, he's had that break. I mean, maybe that break has given him, you know, an extra bit of energy. He's had a rest. Yes, he's still trained. But it's not the training is not the same as.
It's the hair. I think it's the hair that's doing it. He's got his hair back, hasn't he? Now he's got all his hair back. He's like Samson and Delilah. It's David and Delilah.
But the thing is, when he had that season when he had no hair, he was brilliant. That was, I think, the Centurion season. Then last season he wasn't as good, and suddenly as he was growing his hair back, it's a weird one. But there's still a lot for us to look forward to this season. It is exciting. Look, we've got second spot sewn up. We've got the FA Cup semi-final against Arsenal this weekend, which takes on a new turn because I don't think they've been great since they've come back. To me, they flattered to see, like against Spurs, they had a lot of the ball, but they didn't create that much. And then against Liverpool, once again, they struggled, but they've dug out a result. So I think since Arteta's been there, they let about an average of a goal a game in, 1 goal every game. I think before he came, they were letting in about 1.5 goals a game. It doesn't sound like much of a difference, but it's the difference between drawing 1-1 and losing 2-1, or drawing 1-1 and winning 1-0. So, are you concerned about the Arsenal game? It's only 3 days away.
Well, it's inconsistencies with Arsenal, isn't it? I mean, most Premier League teams, apart from Liverpool up to very recently, but even ourselves, the inconsistencies have been there all season with all of us. And Arsenal have got the same. I think they played 8 games since they come back, or 9 games, and it's like. But I think in the league they won 4, drawn 1, and lost 3, or whichever sort of round might be 3-1-4. I can't remember which way around. So it's the inconsistent. I mean, we shouldn't be worried about them, but obviously it's like anything. It's like us last night. I mean, we've Otamendi hadn't got his body in the way. Gundogan hadn't put his body in the way. I mean, we would have lost that last night. And all you need is that little bit of luck. And if Arsenal got the luck like they did against Liverpool, I mean, of course he can. Of course he can do something. We should tater him, obviously, because we're far, far better. But I don't know. It's just so hard to call. I mean, I'm confident. I put 3-1, I think, for tomorrow for the Arsenal game. But anything can happen. Anything can happen in this strange. Anything can happen in the next half hour, as a famous TV series used to say, or anything can happen in the next 90 minutes. Well, there you go.
90 minutes. Yeah. Well, we got. It's been a great week, and I just hope, we can round the week off with a win against Arsenal. That'll take us to the FA Cup final. And as I've said many times, that is an important date for me because it's 6 days before Real Madrid in the Champions League, which Real Madrid have got a bit of form now. So, we need to keep our form going. We need to keep our fitness and our match fitness going and our confidence throughout the season because, we can't put in, I don't think we can put in any poor performances anymore. Even against when we got a game against Watford and Norwich, I think we still got to step up and do the business against them as well as Arsenal, and just try and go finish the season on a confident level, so that we go into the Champions League bristling full of confidence. I think that's what's required. Bernard, mate, thank you very much for for the time today to do this. It's always a great chat, but we've covered a lot of stuff in 20 minutes, and it's been it's a perfect setup for the rest of the day.
No, cheers, mate. Thanks for having on, and cheers to all the guys. And you look lovely there wherever you are. You look as though you're having a bit more. It's a bit dull here today, but there you go in sunny It's not sunny Manchester, unfortunately.
It's a bit. Oh no! I mean, I've been very lucky because since we've been here, most days it's been sunny and hot, mid-20s, not too cloudy. Last couple of days it's been a bit cloudier, but it's been, it's nice to get out and get some sun on your back, or on your bald head or whatever. In my case, it's nice. And I'm coming back to Manchester. We've delayed it, I think, 4 times because of bits and pieces of admin we've got to do. But I've got to come back tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it. Long drive, and then we've got the game on Saturday. So hopefully I'll perk up from that. But fantastic to have you on board, Bernard. And anybody watching this video, I'm just going to say, give us a subscribe to the channel. You support us by just subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. And have a look at Bernard's channels, okay? He's got a couple of channels as well. Have a look at them. Subscribe to both our channels. It costs you now. It's just... and bring a smile to face. Cheers, Bernard. Thanks a lot, mate.